Welcome into 13 News at 6 on a day when we have been watching severe weather coverage all around the area. We have team coverage as we've added tornado warnings now to all the rain and flooding concerns that we've been monitoring. We have team coverage of the storms tonight, including Ralph Hipp, who is live in southwest Shawnee County. Juan Cisneros is in Manhattan. Plus, we have reports from Emporia and Lake Perry. But we begin with 13's Jeremy Goodwin, our chief meteorologist, who is in the Weather Center to update us on the warning situation. Jeremy?
Hi, Melissa. No active tornado warnings this time in northeast Kansas. We do still have a severe storm warning, and we could potentially have more severe storm warnings as well as potential of more rotating storms. So right now, here's what we have. The latest severe storm warning is the activity making its way across Riley County into Pottawatomie County and into Marshall County. This activity is capable of producing hail up to the size of a quarter, and it is moving to the north. So Marshall County, Pottawatomie, and the northern parts of Riley County are in that severe thunderstorm warning. Now, zooming in here, you'll look and see that Topeka has thunderstorms moving in and should arrive shortly. A live look from the downtown area from the Cyrus Hotel, looking off to the west and southwest. You can see low clouds with this. These are very similar to what we were watching move through parts of Dickinson and Gary County earlier, and there are lowerings with these and little bits of rotation as well, and they all need to be watched very closely for the potential of seeing more storms that are rotating, certainly the possibility of hail, maybe some damaging winds, or even additional tornado warnings. So I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen, but I am telling you the risk of seeing more rotating storms certainly exists, especially along this line that's developing across northeast Kansas right now that extends from the Ottawa area right through Topeka up to Marysville. Anything along that line has potential to become severe, and we'll be watching it very, very closely. Let's check in with Juan Cisneros. He's over where the tornado warning just wrapped up in Manhattan.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm here at one of the scenic spots here in Manhattan known as On Top of the World, where we got a good view of those clouds that you see behind me. They actually just came from the southwest direction and are now headed that way. And it wasn't too long ago that the sirens had just stopped sounding in this area as well. Now that also a few moments ago, we did see a lot of hail, or just a little bit of hail falling around in this area. Nothing too extreme. You might catch a couple of them still on the ground a little bit, but those clouds do continue to move. Where we are right now, we're at what looks like to be the end of what that big cloud coverage, and as it continues to move into the north and northeast direction. Now, for a look at the flood situation in Shawnee County, we go to Ralph Hipp, who's out in southwest Shawnee County.
And Juan, here at the swim beach at Lake Sherwood, the weather conditions have significantly deteriorated in the last hour. The winds are whipping up again. We had sunshine at 5 o'clock, but raindrops now. And Aaron Mahan of Emergency Management is with me now. Aaron, you're saying you're particularly looking at the situation around Lake Sherwood here over the next 7 days.
We're basically looking at the entire Shawnee County area, but there are those areas we pay extra special attention to given the rainfall amounts and the ground saturation we have so far.
Well, Farley Elementary is diagonally directly across the street from us here, but even when the emergency master plan was put together in 2006, that was never in the floodplain in this area.
That's correct. From what we have learned, the elevations have put that building and that structure high enough where it really shouldn't be under much of a threat if the Sherwood were to leak some.
I want to have us step over this way if we get a shot looking at the lake water. If you hold up a yardstick, the water here at Lake Sherwood has gone up 3 feet with the rainfall, and of course Shunga Creek flows into here. Those poles you see, that is where people normally lay under their umbrellas on the beach. So you get some idea as to how much the water has come up. So Aaron, anything in particular you would say to the homeowners here? So it's creeping up higher into their backyards around Lake Sherwood.
It is. The biggest thing that we try to impress upon the public is basic preparedness. Be prepared to have water in your basements. If you do keep valuables or boxes or materials that could be damaged, to potentially move those to a higher elevation so they're not damaged and keep them out of the floodwaters. And be prepared. And the biggest thing we impress upon the public is turn around, don't drown. If you do encounter flooded roadways, please don't drive into flooded waters.
So here in the Lake Sherwood area, overcast and windy, and Melissa will send it back inside to you now.
All right, Ralph, thanks for the update from southwest Shawnee County as they monitor the flood situation here. We should note that the only damage report we have received so far from those tornado warnings that moved through is in Dickinson County in the area of 2000 Avenue and Paint Road, which is just east of Enterprise, southwest of Chapman. They had about 5 power poles snapped off, and there are lines across the road there. Emergency crews are in that area and ask you to avoid that while they address the situation. As for the flooding, the reservoirs in our area are seeing some flooding concerns. At Lake Perry, it's nearly 24 feet above normal levels. 13's Cecilia Jenkins learned how that rising level is affecting some businesses around the lake. Cecilia?
Hookers and reelers spent the morning cleaning up after the lake's water flowed inside. They're now preparing for the threat of more water. Hookers and Reelers is dealing with the rising levels of Lake Perry.
So we're going to be sloshing through water, so it's come up pretty quickly today.
By Tuesday morning, water flowed onto their deck and inside.
Now we're just kind of moving the outside stuff in because the water, as you can see, is coming up over the sidewalk. We're moving everything up to our top level and then kind of in a holding pattern. So 891.5 is the conservation level for Perry, and this morning we're right at 915.
RJ Harms with the Corps of Engineers says floodwaters from Nebraska are overflowing the Missouri River, which ultimately affected Kansas lakes.
But that Missouri River really allows us to make our releases out of these lakes, and since it's been running so high for so long, unfortunately all the lakes that drop into the Kansas River have been holding water.
Hookers and Reelers General Manager Sarah Hardesty said they made an exit plan and have received a lot of support from the community.
People have come out of the woodwork asking what can they do to help, what can they donate generators, can they donate trailers, can they donate storage space, can they carry boxes.
As they continue to move items out of water's reach, they hope it won't slow down business for too long.
One way or another, it's all going to be okay. We will be back here. If not this season, we'll be back next season, and hopefully we'll be back this season.
Officials will continue to watch the water levels and in the lakes in Missouri River.
Obviously a situation that will still develop. Cecilia, thank you. Flooding has closed several area roads. There are 4 really main trouble spots in northeast Kansas right now. Westbound Highway 59, that is from Missouri into Atchison, is closed. And up here in Donovan County, that is K7. They actually had a mudslide over the road north of White Cloud. As we go a little bit further south in our viewing area, the trouble spots that we have been seeing recently continue. Here we have over in Osage County, they have the road closed. Sorry about that. I'm going to go back over here. They have the road closed in Osage County from Quinamo, and then this is one that has been flooding quite a bit lately. That is Highway 99 around Emporia in Lyon County, once again underwater north of Emporia due to flood waters. The rains do continue to force creeks and rivers out of their banks in that Emporia area. 13's Sean Wheat continues our team coverage. Emergency managers there told him how this situation compares to what they saw 2 weeks ago.
Overnight rains transformed the Cottonwood River just south of Emporia into raging rapids, sending water over roads and prompting warnings.
Turn around, don't drown. Don't drive past the barricades if they're up. It's illegal. You could hurt yourself driving through it. We've had the last water incident, we had flooding incident, we had like 3 water rescues.
And they didn't want that to happen again. Portions of K99 are shut down and numerous county roads are closed due to high waters.
It's not uncommon for us to get a flooding event, but we've had significant rainfall this year, and our citizens have felt the impact of that.
These closures are about the norm for residents in Lyon County.
We had significant closures last time just because the amount of rainfall that we had for that time. This time, I think you're going to see some road closures. Some of those will be short-lived, and some of those may be longer just due to the erosion of the roadway.
It's also taken a toll on the roads, damaging some so badly they'll need to be rebuilt.
Just some of those have been, roads have been made to be passable, but some of those damages we're going to be right back to the same place with these floods that are coming. So there could be some long-term impacts.
And a cost reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sean Wheat, 13 News.
That last flood caused more than $275,000 in damages, of course, just now getting out to add up what this round will do. Flooding is also causing some problems for some high school state championships. They're all set to take place this week. 13's Marlia Campbell continues our team coverage. She spoke with the Kansas State High School Athletics Association today, and now Marlia is in Emporia. What did they tell you about plans there?
Melissa, the biggest thing here is that all state championships will be taking place for all sports. The question now is when those will happen.
We've used the word unprecedented a few times in the office today when it comes to the rainfall and what the plan can be.
As heavy rain causes rivers to swell and water to pool, high school state championships are shifting gears.
The middle part of the state where we're hosting our golf events are pretty flooded.
Golf rounds already underway for 1 through 6A are now postponed. Holiday says it's a last resort to change locations.
We're waiting to see when the rain stops today, what course conditions are like, and if the water that is flooding the course can rescind in time to play later this week, or even maybe not even finish until next Tuesday.
3A state softball has pitched plans for dirt fields at Trussler Sports Complex, opting for turf across the sidewalk. The weather struck out 3A baseball's initial plan too.
Sodens Grove Park is currently underwater in Emporia because of the river there, so we will be moving Sodens Grove baseball to Trussler as well. So baseball and softball will take place at the same complex.
More rain could bring more changes, but Holiday says rain or shine, the show will go on.
No one's ever even considered the thought of not having an event because we know some of these opportunities for kids are once in a lifetime, and we don't want to have weather take that away from them.
Holiday said they'll email schools, coaches, and athletic directors with plans as soon as they know what those are. But in the meantime, for the latest in high school state championships, head on over to the K-Show website. They'll also be tweeting updates. The Twitter handle for that is on your screen. Melissa?
And we know already a lot of golf activities are postponed until Tuesday, trying to get things to dry out. Maria, thanks. Roads and businesses aren't the only things affected by rain. Crops are taking a hit as well. Greg Akagi, the agriculture director for WIBW Radio, says wet fields delayed planting. He says Kansas is way behind getting in the corn and soybeans. Farmers are also concerned whether some of the crops they have planted will even grow. Akagi says farmers are looking at options.
Are you to a point where you can't plant? And if you have the insurance, are you going to be able to do that? Or do you look at something else to plant, i.e. soybeans? Do you switch your corn acres out to soybeans?
If you start seeing prices go up at the grocery store, Akagi says that's actually more likely due to trade tariffs, not the current flooding. We have just had a new tornado warning pop up for a couple of our counties. Let's go to Jeremy Goodwin to keep you informed on who is in the path of this storm.
Hi, Melissa. We're looking at a tornado warning now that includes a sliver of Marshall County and a large chunk of Pottawatomie County, and that's going to be radar indicated at this point, but it's a tornado warning that's been issued for much of Pottawatomie and also the southern part of Marshall County. Having some rotation with it. I'm going to look at that one on the live tower camera from Menninger Hill, and I actually can see the lowering of that storm. That is not a tornado warning at this point, but this is the one that's moving into Jackson County, and I can see right there that is a funnel cloud forming on the horizon looking northwest of Topeka. So if you're in Jackson County, that dude is just about to be a tornado warning, and if it's not, it certainly should be. It's getting close to the ground. Doug, you may want to call the Weather Service on this one. That's a tornado forming right here on live TV. So from Menninger Hill, Capitol Federal Skycam, we have debris. That is dust flying. Weather Service, tell them confirmed tornado. And I don't have the distance on that, but that's confirmed tornado on the ground.
Where's that looking
Capitol
at?
Federal Live Storm Tracker. What's that?
Where's that looking at?
That's looking northwest. Jefferson Energy Center is on the left side of the screen, and we have a confirmed tornado. You can see the dust as well as I can there. Doesn't take a trained meteorologist to tell you what that is. That is a tornado on the ground in a severe storm warning. So tell the National Weather Service, upgrade that thing right now. It is a tornado on the ground right now. At this time, that's going to be looking to the northwest from Topeka. If you're in Jackson County, take cover right now. That storm has a tornado with it, and just a moment ago, it was it's a severe storm warning in Jackson County, and it needs to be upgraded right away. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in more closely on that. It's on the radar.
Okay, they just put it out there.
Thank you.
So we should be able to see the white polygon here in just a second.
All right, so the rotation on that, what we're seeing is going to be right here just southeast of Delia, and it does appear that it's weakening at this point. So amazing how fast they develop and how fast they go away. And this is why I want more tower cameras. Every time I talk to folks, I want more and more and more of these things. You can see the dust cloud there still kicking up. It's not as pronounced as it was a moment ago, but northwest of Topeka, about halfway to Delia, or almost to Delia, that's what that rotation is. And you can see the dust flying there from this. And just about the time the tornado warning comes out, the thing is already vaporized, but you can see where it is right there as it's making its way to the north of Topeka.
Yeah,
Again,
about 1.5 miles north of Rossville.
1.5 miles north of Rossville. So the report was we had that the Rossville PD saw it was spinning. We brought it up on the tower camera and saw it actually touch down there on live TV, of course. And then now the Weather Service, they have the tornado warning out with it. They do the best they can.